So let's say you want to get an advantage on another player. Simply run up to the house, make sure the door is open the correct way. Sometimes you have to go in to open it like this. Climb the door, and you can jump onto the roof to get the advantage. And if you want to jump from building to building, you can do that also. Now you can climb on the edge of the balcony here and to climb onto the roof as well. Now if you want to be really clever, you can jump from building to building, and they're not going to know where the hell you are. So hope that helps. Around the map you will find wells like this, which you can drink from and fill up your water containers also. In various towns you will find the police station. It looks like this. You will be able to find military grade loot and resupply. Around the map you will find vegetation growing out the ground, such as this cornfield. There are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of locations to find free food. Another great source of food is wild animals. Now you will find a good dozen or so of these running around the map, and if you're hungry then make sure to be careful when hunting these, because you don't want to scare these off in those situations that you need the food. Another great source for water is the water pump, which you will find in various locations around the map too. Petrol stations, you will find food and water here also. This is another great location to find food and water. Rivers, streams and lakes are also a great place to source water from if you are thirsty, and at the same time you can fill your water containers up here too. Bear in mind, around the coast you cannot drink from the oceans. Now bunker areas that you will find fenced off will contain some of the best loot in the game, but you do need to be aware of these mechs because they do get very, very angry, especially when they spot you. Half moon containers such as this will contain a good amount of loot. Now when you are out in the wilderness and you are cooking your food, be sure to hover your mouse cursor over the appropriate piece of food. Hold F, go down to check taste, and on the left hand side of the screen you can see if it's cooked or if it's still raw, and you can do this for the individual pieces of meat on the floor as well. Now if you've just spawned in as a fresh character and you've made an improvised weapon, or if you find a weapon, best way to find cloves is to kill puppets. So once you kill the puppet, search the puppet. Now everyone's going to be seeing you wearing those oranges, so what you do is you search him and you can find maybe even some items as well, but the best way for me is getting cloves off of puppets is the best way. So that's a great way to get cloves. Now if you want to distract puppets, what you do is you look at the floor, search for rocks, pick up a rock. Now this is the way I like to do it. Now what you do is you throw the stone somewhere near the puppet, and as you can see, the puppet will now be distracted towards the item you have just thrown. You can use any item for this. Now around the map there are plenty of lakes, and even around the coast there are underwater caverns and many places of interest here, and a lot of players do decide to hide loot here too. So if you find any of these, just explore. You might even find somebody's base hidden deep beneath the caverns of a lake, or even on the coast somewhere. There are many of these around to explore. Now going back to the food sources, don't forget to search bushes, because you never know what you're going to find. You might even find something that will save your life. Now as I said before, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of vegetation around the map that you can find to eat. Now when wandering around the map you will find many locations for caves. There's over 30 of these caves all over the map in all different areas. So you will find these great places to take refuge, especially when it's raining. If you want to make a little base, if you want to hide some loot, create a stash. This is a really cool place that you want to be, especially when it's raining. It is dark in here so you can make some fires, etc. But yep, there are caves that you can find. Now just off of the coast on the outskirts of the map you will find shipwrecks. Now there's probably a good dozen of these hidden around everywhere. Some are half out the water like this, some are completely submerged. You will find some military loot as well, so be sure to go and check it out. Like I said, you will find some good loot here, not just military, but you will find other different types of loot as well. So be sure to go and explore, see what you guys can find. This is what it's all about, right? Exploration and all that good stuff too. So now you will find World War II bunkers scattered all over the map. There are literally dozens of these. You will be able to get an absolute ton of loot at if it hasn't been looted recently. But be sure, this is the whole point of exploring, so you can find stuff like this. Now if you go downstairs, you will find all of these areas to loot. You can see the weapon crates there, etc. And even masks, and you might even find other items for crafting, and maybe even some food and drink as well. So it's a bit of a mixed batch, but mainly you're going to find military loot more than anything else. So be sure to check these World War II bunkers out. You will find them everywhere. Now, if you drink enough alcohol, you won't only just get drunk, but you will in turn die. So be careful not to drink too much. Now, if you are in the snowy areas, you can craft yourself a sled. Now, with the right materials, you can make one of these yourself. Now, it is very good for getting from A to B, and great fun at the same time. So as you may or may not know, there are 3 safe zones in the game now currently. I'll show you an image there. You will see the green circles, which will be the safe zones. Now, once you're inside, you can't be killed. When you exit the safe zone, that's it. You're back in the real world, and you can be executed. So just in case you didn't know about this one, guys, if you press tab, go into inventory, go to crafting at the top on the right hand side, you'll see improvised rails, improvised can suppressors, improvised bottle suppressors, and even an improvised scope. There's many things here. There's a lot of new things you can now craft. Just have a look for yourself. Even the base building stuff is down there as well. So I wanted to let you guys know that there are many rails, many improvised items that you can craft, and many sights, scopes and stuff for all the weapons as well. So there is a ton to check out. Be sure to have a look. Now, another new feature to check out in the game is press tab, go up to the top, click on journal. Now you will find the tutorials here on the right hand side, and you will see all of these different crafting tutorials for the new players, which is fantastic. I'm guessing there's probably going to be more in there as well. Side missions and main missions aren't currently implemented, but if you go to the tutorial, click on simple crafting, it will tell you what you need, and if you go to the bottom right and click track, Dina will give you tutorials and follow through with what you're doing as well, so you can have someone there to help you as a new player to craft new items and stuff like that as well to get you started. So feel free to check that out. Now, when wandering through the wilderness, you will find different types of vegetation, as I have said before. You can see some mushrooms down here and some mushrooms here too. Don't eat too many of these because it will make you sick, but these will help get your vitamins up, so be sure to check these out, study them, see what's best for your character, and hopefully it will bring your character to some good health. So we've come to the end of the video, folks. Thank you very much for checking it out. I know I couldn't have put everything in there. There was so much more that I wanted to put, but it literally would have ended up being a really long video. If you liked it, maybe I can do another tips video, because this is for players new and old as well. So there's a lot of things here that I've picked up. This is just a very small percentage of things that I know about the game. I would like to do another video like this, but thank you very much for checking the video out, folks, and take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.